What's good, y'all? This is the real A-Town, and I am here about to talk about, my tournament experience at YCS Houston. Um, Before I do, big shout out to my boy JV, John Vigil, for giving me a ride. Big shout outs to my homeboy Yobani, Toby as well. Yobani for getting the Airbnb for all of us, and Toby for also giving me a ride. Robert Hernandez, etc. The entire event was actually very good. Don't like Houston, Texas much. I think it is a pretty shitty city. And am I biased because I live in Dallas? At least in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? Yeah, 100%. Although I guess it's better than Fort Worth, but I digress. Overall, the experience was pretty good, and I'm very happy that I had gone. Had I not, I don't think I would have had as much fun here, and I'm happy that I actually made the decision to actually go. So, what did I take at the event? I took Fire Kings. Very similar list to what Denka Bui played. There's only a few notable changes in here, so I'll just go over them really quick. Instead of 40 cards, the deck was 41. I believe that Call by the Grave is going to be pretty good going into this event, as well as Droll. And with the rise of the Fiendsmith cards again, as well as Blue Eyes, I decided it would be worth actually main decking the Bestials as well. Although he had planned it, but I was experimenting taking them out at some point in time. Because I still played Veilers, Nibs, and the Droll, I had opted to side the Dominus Impulse. After all, if I use this from hand, I can't use Light or Wind monster effects for the rest of the duel. So that is what led me to keep this in the side, whereas I did see some people put it in the main. But I think the impact of Veiler plus Nib was actually going to be really good for me, especially again facing against Ryzeal. It's something that I don't regret putting in whatsoever. Not very good against Blue Eyes, I'll admit. But other than that, the event seemed very good overall. Extra deck wise, the extra deck just stayed the same. The extra deck was pretty good for me. I liked every card in here. The Anima and the Almirage were kind of mandatory, even though I wanted to take them out. But yeah, because of the extravagances and the prosperity, I felt like I had to keep this lineup, even though some lists were playing like Sunlight Wolf and stuff like that. I felt that this was going to be perfect, and I shouldn't really change this unless I decide to play the Snake Eye version that we see Urena play on DB. I was gonna ask him for his list IRL, but I was like, not really. I don't really care too much, even though I would like the template for it essentially. I wasn't gonna bother him with that. And then shout out to everyone that was at the venue that I'm homies with. You guys made the experience very good as well, as I was able to talk to a lot of people throughout the day. So it just felt like a big old locals. So before I go over the tournament results overall, which I will actually pull up my Twitter here. Shout out to Oscar. I was going to watch his video, even though I spoke to him throughout the event. Shout out to the homie. Before I go through the overall experience, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the report that I ended up putting up in my Twitter. So let's go over it really quick. This was my tournament update. I was writing it down and going through everything that had occurred, essentially just through the matchups and how well I did. So round 1, I played against Kashtira and I 2-0'd the matchup. Round 2, I played against Malice, 2-0'd the matchup, and I was kind of surprised because I thought that I was going to have a worse time into Malice, but being able to break apart pieces before they establish their board and forcing them to utilize the traps early helps out a lot, to say the least. So and also if they don't respond to some of the cards that I use and I get to just break apart their board before again they go further. And I believe no Malice opponent of mine actually got to make a Malice Link 3. So yeah, just throwing it out there. Round 3, I lost against Blue Eyes Primite. He was playing a version that had the Tachyon dragon in it with, you know, transmigration. Honestly, his list seemed kind of fire, and I almost, you know, wanted to talk to him more about it. Unfortunately, he ended up being a dick, so he wins the match, as you can see, and he ends up telling me, man, like, I shouldn't have misplayed game 1. You know, you would have lost. And I'm like, okay, well, you already won the match, so what's the point of even telling me this? So I just berated him and told him, nah, I was not losing that one. Like, you lost no matter what. Blah blah blah. You know, because at that point it's like, if you're going to you know, say that to me, that I'm going to just try to belittle you as much as possible. But I'll go over the match in general. So I had to play through a couple of hand traps, a somewhat established board. You know, he had Tachyon Dragon, the level 8, I think, that's able to search for Tachyon cards, I believe, and, you know, Transmigration in hand, I think Seals as well. So I knew I had to play against all of that, and I was able to, piece by piece, try to, you know, break his board while establishing my own, and being careful not to activate multiple cards in the chain, because I mean, Fire Kings will do that at times to try to chain block the effects. And finally, I was able to bait out the Transmigration. I figured he might have more, right? Like, I think the deck can actually grab 3 in one turn, but he only grabbed 1, which led me to believe he maybe just has 1, and turns out he didn't. So he only had the 1, and I was able to establish my board, and then when he tried to recover, I just prevented him from being able to continuously establish what he would have wanted. So game 2, I draw like 3 hand traps, a way into engine, I believe, and a Skyburn. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Even through triple hand traps, he was still able to establish something, and one of those hand traps was Droll, and sadly, it couldn't get me there. Game 3, unfortunately, I bricked. I drew double Impulse, Judgment, Imperm, and a Bestial Magnemite. He started his turn after I set 4 pass into normal summon barrel. I believe I judgmented that, and then he had the Lordy load anyways, and so he activated it. I could have impulsed it to prevent him from getting the blue eyes, but I wasn't too scared of the blue eyes myself. Although looking back, I guess I should have activated and destroyed the Lordy load so that he wouldn't have anything, because what he had in hand was 3 hand traps. So I guess I could have bought a few turns here and there. But who knows if I would have won that game. What I do know is that I needed to draw some form of engine to be able to play, and I didn't get into engine until until like 2 turns later. Yeah, I drew a Ponix, and he had ashed me, and I was like, well, that's unfortunate. So that was game, sadly. Had he Veilered, I could have Skyburned, dodged it, right? But unfortunately, even if I did that, I was searching a Sanctuary, placing the field spell, and then having to destroy like my Magnemite in hand, and that doesn't trigger anything, right? It doesn't trigger Sacred Fire King Garunix. I can't normal summon the Ulcanix, and even if I was able to, I can't destroy a fire, and I could add Kirin, but again, then I have to wait a whole turn later to be able to, you know, it just it wasn't my game to win. So I lost. Round 4, played against Malice again. He did shifter me game 2 because I won game 1, and I was able to draw double Lancia. Went to my turn. I was able to establish a board, and he could not play after. Every single summon that he was able to put out, at some point, once I seen 2 bodies, remove. Like at least one of them. He tried to set up bodies again, remove, set up bodies again, stop. He impulsed me actually multiple times during the match in general, but again, I just, oh my god, when you draw engine with this deck, it's almost really hard to lose. Next up, this shouldn't be round 3. Can I edit that? Let's see. Round 5. So round 5, I played against Ryzeal Fiendsmith. I won the die rolls a lot, as you can see, but that wasn't enough. Same ordeal. Game 1, I was able to start. I was able to establish board presence and continuously break apart his board while establishing my own. And probably my favorite play during that game 1 was when I went Princess, target the extra level 4 body that he was going to use to make Dweller with, as he had already established Detonator for some reason over the Dweller first. And then he tries to chain Detonator to pop my face-up Kirin. I believe it was a Kirin. I forgot exactly what it was. And then I chained Nib to that, and that ended up preventing him from being able to do anything. So I was able to summon Princess as Chainlink 2, meaning that it didn't get treated by Nib, and then the next turn I was just going to blow him out, right? So game 2, funny enough, I had a really good hand into his board, but I didn't draw enough engine to, capitalize off of, the plays that I was able to make. Maybe had I drawn a Sacred Fire King or Runix in hand for turn, it actually would have helped me a lot. But he did also have Dweller, so it was going to be a hard match to win regardless, and he was able to take it. And then, lastly, game number 3, legit, the same thing that happened with the Blue Eyes Primate player happened here. I drew, instead of double Impulse though, I drew double Solemn, and then Impulse Imperm. And instead of a Magnemite, it was a Druid's Worm. I actually was so surprised that I saw basically the same hand twice. It made me think maybe my side pattern was wrong. I did take out hand traps like Valor, Nib, and reduce the Droll count. Didn't reduce my engine count at all. Shout out to all the pro players that I've seen just talk about how important having engine is, right? And sadly, I just ended up not seeing it. 9 hand traps going first, maybe a little bit of an overkill, but I thought maybe reducing the hand trap count would help me. In that case, I guess not, and that's another skill that I have to learn to do even better, and that is to side better, right? So, it happens, but I'm not going to complain too much about it. You can't control it sometimes. It's just going to occur. Next up, round 6, I played against Primite Fiendsmith Bestial. I'm only X2. I have a chance to make day 2 so long as I continue to win out. Spoiler, as you can see, it didn't happen, but I'll still go over it. Against Primite Fiendsmith Bestial, the greatest thing about that deck is that against any light or dark deck, you're going to have a big advantage because your Bestials are able to interact with your opponent's graveyard. Unfortunately for him, I had only fire monsters in the grave, so he wasn't able to capitalize too much off of the Bestials in hand unless he banished his own light or dark monsters, and he didn't really want to do that because all of his monsters in grave for the most part was like the Lubellion that he used and all his Fiendsmith monsters, so not really cards that you want to banish unless you actually have Regain established, and he just couldn't keep Regain on board, so I ended up winning that one smoothly. Round 7, I have my rematch against Blue Eyes Primate. Keep in mind, I was bricking all the time against Blue Eyes Primate. I played against my friend Toby a lot the day prior, and that almost convinced me to join the Ultimate Time Wizard. But as I was wiping my ass at the venue in the restroom, I look and I'm like, you know what? This feels a lot like playing Edison. And I don't like Edison enough to join the Ultimate Time Wizard. So I ended up immediately writing my deck list on the side deck and registering before 6. I think it was like 450 or something. And, while I didn't get a coin, I'm still happy that I was able to actually play the main event because I really love Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been playing the game for, since 2012 at least. So I'm going to want to play the actual game and not just focus on Time Wizard. Luckily, again, even though I lost a die roll against Blue Eyes Primate and he went first both games, because we only had 2 games, it was a really good back and forth match. My favorite interaction all day was when I had to face against a Lordy Load. It was kind of a simplified game state, but I had to bait out the Lordy Load somehow. Or not Lordy Load, I'm sorry. The Drill Beam, there we go. And Drill Beam is really great against Fire Kings, as you guys know. So, I had a Garunix in defense mode, and he didn't want to attack over it during his turn 2. I guess that would be turn 3 at this point, after I had broken the established board. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, now I gotta bait out this drill beam. So I have Ponix in hand. I normal summon it. He does not hit anything with it, so I grab Skyburn, and then I flip my Garunix from defense mode to attack, or I switch it rather, and then I go battle phase. Still doesn't activate drill beam. I'm like, okay, cool. His blue eyes is in attack mode. Maybe I'm Gucci. And then I go Garunix, swing into the blue eyes. Unfortunately for him, he did not activate the drill beam right there. And so when this is Straw Bat Battle, this is an effect that people usually don't know, especially if they're super modern players, or maybe perhaps they didn't play during Snake Eyes format with the Fire King engine and Azamina and everything, right? But this card says, when it is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Fire King monster from your deck, except for itself. So I needed a way to establish Sacred again, and this was my out. Sacred Fire King Garunix is in fact a Fire King monster, and so I was able to special summon the Garunix, and then destroy Kieran, pop his back row, which was the drill beam, and then summon out the Arvata, or no, it was the Garunix again that I summoned back, I believe, because I wanted to deal like a lot of damage. And then during my turn, after popping the drill beam and attacking over Blue Eyes, I end up overlaying into the Eternity, blowing up my Ponix for the follow-up next turn, and then blowing up his Lordy Load. And then the only follow-up he has is get a Barrel back from the graveyard, but he had no more plays at that point, as he kind of extended with his extra deck. So yeah, hidden effect. If you want to play Fire Kings, do remember this effect, because it will come up. And then so yeah, I was able to take that game very, very confidently, because game 2 was the same grind back and forth. I ended up winning in time, but I had game on board, and he was only about 2,000 life points away from me. So yeah, he wasn't winning, unfortunately, but still probably one of the more respectful players that I played against all day. So shout out to you. I don't remember your name, but it was a pleasure actually playing against you. And then next up was Ryzeal Fiendsmith. This is the deck that I really wanted to face, all Ryzeal, right? Unfortunately, I did not brick this time. As you can see, I lost 2 games in a row. And not because I bricked. In fact, I didn't brick at all against this guy. Maybe you could argue I bricked game 2, but it didn't matter. Game 2 probably shouldn't have mattered, as I should have been able to win against the matchup regardless. Game 1, I played heavy into Nib. I basically high rolled the entire, time, and I shouldn't have. Sadly, that ended up costing me the game, and had I just not played into the Nib, I just wouldn't have ever been in that position. And Nib really didn't even matter there. I had a way to play around it so that I didn't lose to it, and I think my brain just gave out there. So that's on me. I might have come off a little rude against my opponent. I was not trying to be. I was just like, after that Nib portion where my board got basically blown away, I was like thinking about like other stuff throughout the match with like the interaction. So my bad if I came off rude to you. I don't remember. I think your name was George, but that's on that's just me just being in that spot after I got nibbed, after I shouldn't have like played into it. So I was just thinking of infinite ways to try to potentially win out, and yeah, I just couldn't do enough there. So apologies. At the very least, though, I'm glad that the match was at least in your favor from there. The better player there definitely won, and if I had just like use my brain for a second, who knows what the outcome could have been. Perhaps I could have won. He did have a talent, so Even though the interruption that I did have was pretty good, it wasn't going to be enough. So I'll never know what could have happened if he didn't have the talent, or really if I just didn't play into the Nibiru at all. But it was not my match to win after that, so it's okay. Beat yourself up from your misplays and just learn from them, just like what I'm going to do. So yeah. As you can see, the event I went 5-3. I was trying to go 7-2 so that I could go to day 2 and perhaps get my first YCS top, but I fell short. And the games that I bricked didn't matter, you know, that stuff's just gonna happen. What I really should have done is played better during my round 8, and had I done that, I think I maybe could have even secured the W, but we'll find out in the next one, in the next event I go. Playing this event actually really lifted my spirit, because the games that I was winning and the games that I was playing, I think I performed to the best of my ability. I took Fire King mainly because this was a deck that I really wanted to, convince myself that I would be playing the best with, and I did. All the matches, I don't think I misplayed a single time up until round 8. But hey, we'll do better in the next one. So hopefully I can go to an event sometime soon, perhaps Anaheim, right? I don't want to go to Canada, and I certainly don't want to go to South America or Europe. Maybe Mexico. I mean, I have family there, but yeah, we'll just see what I can do, you know. Overall, I took this deck because I was comfortable with the playstyle and I felt like it resonated with me. But now I'm going to play something with Fiendsmith, and you know, hopefully I get to perform well in the next one. So some things that I would change. Funny enough, the main deck actually performed really well pre-side, you know. Post-side, when I sided in 6 traps, maybe I should have removed some along with my other hand traps, but hey, what can you do, right? I just side better. The Lightning Storm and Harpy was great. I'm glad that I made the decision to add those in, because it would have been like, what, Chaos Hunter, right? The Chaos Hunter did not come up. The Lancius was more than enough to win the match against any Malice player, and I didn't even see Lancia except for one Malice match, so even the Lancia for me didn't matter. But I mean, you kind of have to play it. It's like an auto win against Malice no matter what, so yeah. And the Perulia, see, I put this in because I thought I was going to play against a lot of pure. I played against no pure. This could have been anything else, and maybe Fualosas instead of the Perulia. I'm not even gonna lie. So it's all right. I learned my lesson. I am at least glad that I made very good decisions of what I was going to bring into the format. But yeah, aside from that, shout out to everyone that I went out with. Shout out to the venue. Shout out to Jackie. She did a really good job hosting, and I think she should probably be a permanent host if possible. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll try to secure this dub sometime soon. So yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.